Hey everyone, welcome to Otaku Talk. It's me, your boy, your host, OD, and today we'll be reviewing and analyzing chapter 1050 of One Piece. This was a nice little cool down chapter. There's some things I would like to address. So if this is your first time on this channel or you've been here before but haven't done so already, I would really appreciate if you could like, share, and subscribe. Do your boy a solid. Anyway, without much further ado, let's get into this review. Alright guys, chapter 1050 of One Piece. Today was a great day for media because as soon as I read this chapter, I found out that Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Disney Plus show, came out, so I'm going to check that out. Not really a Star Wars head, but I like to keep up with other fandoms sometimes. So yeah, let's start off this. We're going to be talking about 1050 of One Piece Honor, and it'll be my honor to review it. Alright, so we're going to start off with the cover story. So I am just kind of extremely happy that this is finally over and done with, and we know that it is Raiju and Ichiji, right? I think this just goes to show that sometimes the simplest answer is the correct answer, and sometimes as fans we go above and beyond in the theory crafting. Now, watch my dumbass say all this, and it turns out not to be them, but honestly, I just think it is simple to believe it is them. But now that I'm thinking about it, I do remember, when Brule did the whole clones of Luffy thing, and she was able to make mirror clones of Luffy. So I'm wondering if maybe she might be doing something here. Once again, the paranoia sets in. When it comes to Oda, you never know. Yeah, we start off the chapter. Luffy's fallen down after having defeated Kaido. We see an image of Big Mom and Kaido with massive holes separate from each other, just completely embedded in the earth. Inside what we find out later in the chapter is a magma pool, and you see a bunch of like rubble and underground like rocks and stuff like that deteriorating, which means like I kind of feel like there's going to be an even greater massive kind of like I don't know what to say, like earthquake or explosion. Something is going to, this whole section is going to be destroyed, and maybe the seawater is going to mix with the magma, and certain things are going to happen. I'll talk about that in the end. I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyway, Yamato rushes over. It is a touching scene. She just gives Luffy this heartfelt, emotional smile that you can just tell is just relief, release of tension after years of being oppressed by Kaido and his tyranny and having to watch the people of Wano suffer. You just see how like just the pride in her face, and it was a wonderful thing to see. I love how the narrator goes, winner of the battle for Onigashima, revised Monkey D. Luffy, and I kind of was like, okay, revised, because let's be real. Why was it any different than any of the other times Luffy was defeated? Why did we get the fake out announcement at that one moment, right? So whatever, that was interesting to me. Okay, Oda, you got to control the narrative a little bit and make us think Luffy lost, but oh wait, did he? I do have a lot of feelings about this entire last act of Wano in general. Overall, I think it's awesome. Like, when it comes to One Piece, when it comes to Oda, he is very consistent, and his stuff will always be good, but there's going to be like high tier good and low tier good and things that bothered me. And I'm just going to be real, a lot of the fights this climax kind of perturbed me, and I was thinking about doing a video where I'll address why people might feel some dissatisfaction in the resolution of Wano. Now, I might be getting ahead of myself. Wano isn't over yet. That's not, that's not lost on me, but I think it is something I do want to address. No One Piece hate, could never hate on One Piece, but I don't think there's any issue addressing, some some themes and staples of Oda's writing that we really haven't seen come to fruition. So anyway, we move over to Toko, and she's with Tenguyama. I believe that's his name. I was about to forget it. I hate when I forget characters' names. So it's Toko and Tenguyama, and she's just talking to him about how she remembers her dad telling her that he knew people would come after him, but he didn't run away. In fact, he brought himself to those people, and she's trying to understand and ask, like, why would he do this? And I just this part kind of emotionally just rips at my heart, because you have to understand that, like, even though she's laughing and stuff, that's all the smile. So from her perspective, she's actually probably in this moment, like, well, people with smiles can still cry, but like, she's probably wouldn't normally have a smile on her face talking about this topic. She's probably grieving right now, reminiscing about Yasue. And so we get a flashback of him, and this flashback gives me a really, really important question.
Very good question.
Because we find she eats the smile. Yasui freaks out, and he's like, kind of like when like Shanks when Luffy ate the devil fruit, and he's like, how could you eat this fruit? And then he kind of is just like, okay, I'll eat it too. And I was like, whoa. I remember a big thing in the community was, did Yasui ever eat a smile fruit, right? And then this Vivier card came out that basically confirmed, hey, he did it. So can someone in the comment section please let me know if Vivier cards are canon? Because I always thought that Vivier cards and SBSs were like kind of tangential extra things to the series for Oda to confirm without having to add it to the actual story. And so I thought that was his way of letting us all know that, Yasui actually did not have a smile. And for me personally, I'm not going to say this is going to ruin it if it's not the case, but for me personally, I really love that narratively, because to me, I was like, oh, that means so much more, that he pretty much made himself a prisoner, pretty much did this self-imposed curse where he forces himself to smile all the time, which I think is more impressive. It's like, with the Joker gas in Batman.
Get what you fucking deserve!
Woo! Looking cool, Joker!
Some of you might not know what I'm talking about. That hasn't been a thing in forever. But back in the animated cartoon series days, he like his calling card was he would have this gas that would make people smile and they couldn't stop, and like there was like a whole arc where Batman had to like find the the cure, which, by the way, still want to know if Chopper is going to be able to cure everyone of the smile disease, if you'll call it. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Sorry about the tangent. I thought it was just super cool that in order to sympathize and empathize with the people of Wano, and to be to suffer with them and to be a beacon of light amongst them, he just ran with it, pretended that he was under the effects of a smile without actually being under a smile. And even in his death, he was still smiling, and it wasn't because of the fruit, it was because of his own will and being able to go out smiling, knowing that he was doing it for the future of Toko and doing it for the future of the inhabitants of Wano. That was powerful for me. So I'm kind of feeling a certain way about that, but hey, you never know how it'll go. But I feel weird. So yeah, someone please in the comment sections let me know what you think about that, because I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. But yeah, so after having that conversation with Tenguyama, she decides that, like, I want to change the message on my lantern. And she changes it from, I want to see you again, Daddy, to thank you, Daddy. And oh my God, I wanted to shed a tear. That was so deep. And honestly, I read this chapter a couple times, which, by the way, still terrible memory. So I still have to keep checking during this review what I want to talk about. But the first couple times I interpreted it as, her being like, I wish you were still alive. I wish you were still here. And, thank you. But now, that's selfish of me. You can't be here. You because of what you did, because of your sacrifice, it culminated into, well, she doesn't even know that Kaido's been defeated, which is the crazy part. But it's culminated to like the opportunities that are possibly taking place right now, even though whether or not she knows what's going on right now. But then I was thinking along my third reread, I was like, actually, you could take this a really morbid way, and you could interpret that line to be like, I want to see you again, Daddy, as in I want to join you. Literally a chapter prior to this, you had a bunch of panels implying, the depressed, suicidal nature of the inhabitants of Wano. So it wouldn't really, be anything strange or surprising to me for, that, for maybe to have had that dark angle to it. So yeah, after that, you have Nekomushi pretty much announced to the entirety of, Onigashima that Luffy has won, Kaido is defeated, Wano is free essentially, and you see this just wave of emotions from everyone. You see everyone's reactions. Kawamatsu looks a little bit shocked. Raizo looks like a little bit in disbelief. The panel of Hiyori and Denjiro was kind of weird to me. I don't know why it was like shaded so dark and kind of ominous. So that was like, maybe they just couldn't believe it. Maybe like they have some kind of sick, like, I don't know, weird resolution to it because they kind of served under Kaido via Orochi. So that, I don't know, that panel would like rub me the wrong way. You have Kid and Law, which I cannot tell if they have a somewhat pride of it or are kind of like annoyed or like peeved about it. You know what I mean? I couldn't really tell. And then who was the last person? There was one more person in that panel that had a reaction. Oh, yes, Apu. Apu's reaction, actually, I didn't think much about until I started reading a bunch of the comments, and I was like, oh, that's a great point. So first of all, I love the fact that Apu seems really surprised that someone from his generation was able to defeat a warlord, sorry, not a warlord, an Emperor of the Sea. An Emperor of the Sea, one of the Yonko. And it's crazy because he's the epitome of being bitch made. I'm sorry, I said it, it's true. He literally gave up and succumbed to Kaido because he never once in his wildest dreams or imaginations thought this was someone he could stand up to. And for someone from the same generation of the worst as him to do it, that has to have really just, like, he has to view Luffy as like a god right now. Also, on top of that, we have something I completely forgot was, he is he is an accomplice of Morgan, someone that feeds Morgan news and information. And so now that he's actually heard the news of Luffy defeating Kaido, he can easily pass that information to Morgan. That's going to get circled around the world. That's something the world government can definitely not ignore, and that's definitely something that's going to be reflected not only in his bounty, but in the behaviors of pirates all around the world and the decisions that people like Blackbeard and just other people out in the Revolutionary Army are going to make. So yeah, we're all kind of gathering up. Usopp has Kiku and Kinemon. Frankie has Zoro. He's like, yo, everyone is looking for Chopper, like, oh my god, we need your help. Chopper's like, damn, I'm one person, I'm gonna need help. Mr. Miyagi's on his way. Tristan the nurse, I'm sure, is with him. So hopefully we're gonna get some medical care to them ASAP, and all of our allies. On top of that, we still have some remnants of the Beast Pirates trying to, fight back. And Yamato is pretty much like, hey, yo, if you try to, like, kill these people that have just liberated us, spent all their time, effort to, like, help us out of the goodness of their heart and free you, and let you go, like, the war's over. They're not going to be petty and finish everyone off who was on the opposing side. If you don't, I will, on, like, the behest of our, like, benefactors, destroy you all. And I think that's all they really needed, because one, it was kind of like, there's no way Kaido's dead, and if Kaido, like, shows up again and it's like, hey man, like, you guys betrayed me, I'm gonna slaughter you all, that would have been bad. maybe we got faked out again and it gets revised and Kaido actually isn't defeated, but we'll get to that. He's definitely defeated. So I kind of get where they're coming from, but for Yamato to stand up to them, for them to realize, oh, you're on their side, definitely made them go, okay, yeah, you got it. So after that, we get a scene where Momonosuke is communicating with Zunisha telepathically through the voice of all things, if you will, kind of assume that. And he's like, yo, Zunisha, I know that my dad said we're going to open the borders to Wano, but I'm going to hold off on that for a little bit. And I'm really, really curious if Oda is going to give us any insight into why Momo is saying that, if we're going to get any more just information on that, what the grand plan of that is. Maybe Momo feels like we need to rebuild, we need to put a system in place so that another Kaido and Orochi type situation doesn't happen and they come in here and destroy everything again. So I'm very curious about why he made that decision, but I love the kind of like wisdom behind it and the respect Zunisha has and the trust Zunisha has to be like, all right, you got it, fam. Like, I know you're not making that decision lightly, and I also know you're not making that decision out of fear. After what we just been through, yeah, you're definitely not. You're not crybaby Momo. So yeah, we end the chapter with Big Mom and Kaido in a pool of magma. And I am just like, holy hell, are they dead? I mean, this is One Piece, but like, they're in a pool of magma, most likely unconscious. And by the way, Big Mom has been there for a big chunk of Kaido's fight. So it's kind of like, is she alive? That's really, really terrifying. So yeah, I'm curious about that. Due to them being under there, explosions are happening. A big motif with volcanoes and fire is that while they're also destruction, sorry, there's something in my eye. While they're also destruction, they're also rebirth. Once, that's how islands are made. Magma pools start, putting ash and stuff all, and, just creating new land and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, that might, something interesting might happen. We also know that, sky islands and land and poneglyphs are made from the fusion of, is made from a substance called pyrobluin, right? And pyrobluin is when, the ash from the, from volcanic eruptions mixes with like the water from the sea and the ocean. And something, one of the many things we haven't gotten out of Wano this arc is, the Kazuki secrets behind the creation of the poneglyphs, why they're indestructible, and how to read them and how to inscribe messages on poneglyphs. So maybe this is around the time we're going to learn more about that. Maybe we're going to get a shortcut to Elbaf. Maybe we're going to get some more lore. So I'm very, very interested in all that of what's to come. But yeah, man, like, I really do want to do that one video because there's just a handful of things in Wano that we still have to resolve. I want to know if the Mountain King, those boars, are around. I want to know more about Onimaru. We need to see Zoro meet up, go to the grave of Shishui. Is it Shishui? Did I say that right? I think it's, no, Ryuma, sorry. Ryuma, the sword of Shishui. What else? There's just so much left to talk about. We have to talk about the Nidai Katetsu. I want to know if, like, Green Bull and Fujitora from Wano, if, Lady Toki will show up. I want to know why, why we didn't see, Kaido's awakening. I want to know more about Kaido. I want to know why his last confrontation with Luffy was in his dragon form, which is kind of been headcanon by the all of One Piece fans to be his weakest form. That was weird to me. So this was a really dope chapter. A lot, once again, Oda does it again. Answers one question, gives us a bunch more, and yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. There's a moment at the very end where is it Denjiro? I believe it's Denjiro, and he says, he's going to announce the new Shogun of Wano. And I kind of assumed he was going to say it was Momo, especially because, you know, during that volcanic eruption, Momo comes out and says that's the final send-off of Kaido, blah, blah, I'm Momo, I'm here. And that would be a great moment for next chapter where, you know, the new Shogun of Wano is Momo turns back human and he looks exactly like Odin, unless, you know, Oda tries to troll us and throw a curveball. Honestly, those are the two main, you know, things it's going to be. Either he looks exactly like Odin, or it's some crazy, wild, wacky spin that Oda, you know, throws us for a loop. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if he actually says it's Hiyori, and, you know, all her time, you know, being an Oiran and serving under Orochi and getting to that last moment with him and trapping him was what makes her worthy of the decision, you know, the title and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like I have a lot more I want to talk about this chapter, but my thoughts are really disconjointed and almost incoherent at this point. Every time I do these reviews, it's like right after the chapter, I just want to get out my first thoughts. But yeah, I definitely think I want to do like a follow-up video on this chapter, as well as another video on, I don't know what I'll title it, like why you may have conflicting feelings on Wano, or why you might not feel completely satisfied with Wano, yada yada yada. But there's still a lot to go. I can't wait to see what Oda does. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. This has been Otaku Talk with your boy, your host, me, OD. Please take care. And remember to like, share, and subscribe. I'm out.